Visit Sailrite.com for all your project supplies, tools, and instructions.
Hi, I'm Eric Grant from Sailrite. In this video, we're going to show you how to lubricate your HandyPress and some general maintenance. It's very easy, so don't be alarmed. We do use this oil spout, which is a sewing machine oil, but we cut the top off a little bit too much, and so it spurts out. The best oil, if you're going to buy any, is the oil that's in this zoom spout. It's the same oil, but you get this long thing that you don't have to cut the top off, and you can put it exactly where you want it. So this is the one I recommend you purchase. Sometimes after thousands of presses, you may find that this no longer rotates to the left or to the right easily, and it seems like it's bound up. Or when you depress the lever of the HandyPress, it may make squeaking noises or be difficult to compress. And that's easy to resolve by simply doing a cleaning and lubrication. So we're going to use a Phillips screwdriver, and we're going to remove this screw, and the ones on this side as well, and this faceplate will come off. With the screws removed, the faceplate can be set aside. So for general lubrication, you can take some sewing machine oil, and I do recommend a sewing machine oil, and drop it there on the threaded post, which will go down there, and then also a little bit on this shaft here, and then roll it around by hand up and down a few times to get that lubrication to sink in. Might be a good idea to put a little drop of oil down here as well, so that that Bosch is lubricated also. If you have excess oil, take a rag and clean it up. I wouldn't do it up here, but sometimes you'll notice the oil will come down here, so you may want to clean that if it gets seriously bad. A drop of oil can be placed here. That's a little bit more than I want. And then a drop of oil over here on this shaft on both sides. Right in there. Okay, now that's general lubrication, and notice it moves beautifully with that. Now let's talk about this pad at the top. That is a pad that will eventually wear out over thousands of presses, and we've done just about that much. Take the Allen wrench that's included and insert it in this hole with the lever partially down. So notice the lever's not all the way back, it's almost vertical, and that will keep that piston from going all the way and coming in contact with this handle. Then take the second Allen wrench that's included with your machine and remove this bolt. Hold on to the handle while you do it. As soon as you get to a certain distance, the threads are going to no longer be in contact, and you'll be able to just pull it out like that, and then grab the handle and set it aside with the bolt. This is the wear-resistant gasket, and you can see it does have some wear because we've used the tool a lot. There is a little gap here. If you take a slotted screwdriver, a small one, and you actually just kind of pry, it'll come up, and it is meant to be replaced. So there's the old one. It's sort of out of shape, and here's a brand new one. You get 3 with the HandyPress, and you can always order more. They're pretty inexpensive. Push the new one down into the cavity, and your job is complete. Remember, we talked about this can sometimes be difficult to turn, and that could be because there's a lot of residue inside this chamber from the threads. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it to the left so that the shaft comes all the way down until it releases the threads at the top. Now watch up here, pretty soon you're going to see that this falls down and the threaded shaft stays inside there. There we go. So this shaft is down. So now that the threaded post is separated, I'm going to push my finger down here, and I'm going to release this Allen key. And that will allow this to raise up. So let's see. I have to push it forward so it gets past this thing, and then you can just take it out like that. Okay, try to remember how it's orientated. We're going to set that aside, and then I'm going to take this shaft and I'm actually going to raise it up physically, and we can clean the threads out with a brush like this. This is a sewing machine brush. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on it. Whoops, that's more than I wanted. Again, this oil container has a hole that's too big. So there's a little bit of oil on that, and I'm going to raise this up like this, and I'm going to push it down in here, going all the way down as far as I possibly can, and that should clean any debris out of here. I can tell that I'm touching the bottom of it right here. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this spring off, and I've already got oil on this rag, and then I'm going to carefully clean these threads. And once they're clean, I'm going to put a drop of oil back down here near the bottom. Okay, now we're going to put the spring back on. We're going to make sure that this is forward like it was. We're going to push it into that little cavity at an angle. Push it down. Okay, once this is in position, I'm going to just raise this lower shaft here and start the threading process. Okay, so sometimes what I do is I push on the top. Okay, so now it's threaded on there with several rotations. Now I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to push down this. It's quite stubborn, and put my Allen key back in the hole to hold it down in position. Now what I want to do, I'm going to wipe some of this oil off of here, is I want to thread it to at least that location where there's a score, the bottom score. So I'm going to go all the way to there, and you can go further if you want, but that's as far as it's supposed to come out. So right about there. Now I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to reinsert the handle with the lobe facing me. So it goes in like this, and we just have to put that bolt in from this side, which is right, if you're facing the tool, it's the right side, and then line it up and thread it in. Once the threads are in and it's spun to the point where you can't turn it anymore, take your second Allen key that's included with the HandyPress and tighten it like that. Okay, now we're going to depress the lever so that it's almost vertical and pull this Allen key out. And now all we have to do, everything should be working, and this should be spinning nice and freely, and it is. I can wipe some of the excess oil off. Now I'm going to reinsert my cover with those 4 screws. Oops, it goes like this. And we'll screw each one of those 4 screws back in place. And your HandyPress is ready for probably 1,000 more presses before it has to be cleaned again or lubricated.